thing might make you guys pass out because it's so strong. Nobody? Imagine not being able to communicate how you feel or what you think or who you are. Contrary to what you might think by now, this is not about sign language, and it's not about being deaf, but it is about your voice being silenced. Today I'm going to try to explain to you why it is necessary to silence your own voice for just a day, to take a stand to prevent the silencing of others and oppression for a lifetime. I believe that the silencing of any group, for whatever reason, is wrong, no matter if it's race, ethnicity, background, sexual preference, gender, culture, where you grew up, how old you are, where you live, anything. It's wrong. So I'm going to tell you about the abuses, bullying, silencing, and oppression of LGBT community, which is lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people and their allies. And I'm going to tell you about the things that you can do about it. Heart's racing. Okay. There are hate crimes and incidences similar to those going on all over the world today. And they won't make headlines. They won't be on the cover of any kind of paper, as opposed to Britney Spears' new hairdo, or which member of which band is trying to go to the moon. But that doesn't make them any less significant. In fact, they're probably a lot more significant to the world we live in today than Britney Spears shaving her head. Does anyone know who Brandon Tina is? Yeah, woohoo, okay. We got some people in here. If you don't know, please, hopefully, try to check out the movie Boys Don't Cry, Hilary Swank's big breakout movie. Brandon Tina, originally born Tina Brandon, is the character that the movie was based on. It's an incident that took place in Falls City, Nebraska, back in the early 90s, and it's the most famous incident for the LGBT community to reference of a hate crime in the 90s. Born female and discovered by people she knew and trusted, she was raped, silenced, and later murdered. It was a crime, and both people who committed the crime actually avoided the death penalty, which would be unacceptable if it was declared a hate crime back then. Does anybody know about Matthew Shepard? Yay, more people. Okay. Matthew Shepard was a 21-year-old University of Wyoming student who, after a night out in the bar, was brutally beaten, left for dead, and tied to a fence in a rural area. Later that night, his home was burglarized by his assailants. And then the assailants tried to use their girlfriends as covers, as alibis. But after the trial, were both given 2 life sentences, but no death penalty. The Matthew Shepard Act, which came into Congress on March 20, 2007, was sponsored by Congressman John Conyers, passed by the House of Representatives on May 3rd, and later by the Senate on September 27th, declares that any crimes against LGBT people should be declared hate crimes and opt for the strictest punishment available. Instead of being declared as gay bashing, it would just be passed as just battery, and then a lesser charge would be brought to the assailants. President Bush has declared that if this does reach his desk, he will veto it. And then good luck to everybody who gets gay bash. So not all crimes are this severe, but this is just one of the pictures after the Matthew Shepard incident. This is the fence that he was actually tied on and left for dead after being brutally beaten. It has since become a memorial, and later on the fence was torn down. But not all hate crimes are that severe. they all start somewhere. By preventing simple bullying and silencing, we're taking the necessary steps towards the equality and freedom that this country prides itself on. So, things that you can do. You could stop it whenever you see it. If you see someone being teased or nagged or even discriminated against for any of those reasons, then just try to put a stop to it, and please don't continue it if you do it yourself. You can also go check out HRC. So, that's this big, very strong smelling sign I have here. So, the Human Rights Campaign holds this thing every third Tuesday of the month at 6 p.m. It's at the Paragon. If you don't know, that's in downtown San Jose. It's 211 South 1st Street. And it's where you can go and learn about what the HRC is doing in your community, meet members, active members, and see what kind of issues are coming up in our world today. And if anything less, they have free food and drinks there, so you can get that. Another thing you can do, and this is the thing that I recommend, it doesn't take a lot of effort, it doesn't take you driving anywhere in particular, and that's to participate in Day of Silence. The upcoming Day of Silence is April 25th, 2008. It's organized by students and other faculty members of most schools around the nation. It is where students take a stand by not speaking for a whole day in class, at work, wherever they go. A lot of radio stations actually just have dead sound that day. And you can pass out cards that say what the dayofsilence.org recommends, and the cards say, "Please understand my reasons for not speaking today. I am participating in the Day of Silence, a national youth movement protesting the silence faced by lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender people and their allies. My deliberate silence echoes a silence which is caused by harassment, prejudice, and discrimination. I believe that silence is the first step towards fighting these injustices. Thinking about all the voices that you're not hearing today, what are you going to do to end the silence?" So this is a stoppable problem. It doesn't have to continue any longer. Participation in next year's Day of Silence might stop President Bush from vetoing the bill. And if not, at least think of a bully going to school one day, someone who doesn't accept something that he doesn't understand. Imagine the girl he likes being silent that day. Imagine the teacher he looks up to the most, or his football coach, all being silent. Maybe that might change his mind. Maybe it might change yours. So, things you can do is go to hrc.org or dayofsilence.org, sign up to participate in Day of Silence on April 25th, 2008, or go to HRC's event next Tuesday night. I hope I've explained to you the severity of this problem and how unjust these hate crimes are. Now that you have the info and options, you can be a part of the solution and not the problem. And please remember, I'm really not very good at sign language, and I might run out of explanation cards to hand out this year. So it'd be really great if everyone participated, and that's a lot less people I would have to explain myself to.